Hi, I'm Rebecca Hansen. Welcome to Maker Studio. Today we're going to be making some clay trinket dishes. If you didn't know, your Curio machine can cut clay, which is awesome. So we are going to be using some oven-baked clay to make a variety of little trinket dishes, and it's really simple to make. You just have to figure out your settings. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do for our trinket dishes is prepare the clay. And I'm using just basic oven baked clay. The Sculpey Soufflé works really nice because the texture is really smooth and isn't too cracky when you bake it. So I am going to show you how to create a marbled look for your clay. You can also just use a plain clay and one color and do that. But if you want to do a marble effect, I think it's really pretty and adds a little something extra. So I'm going to take a white and a blue and a little bit more white than blue and just kind of roll. So it's like you're playing with Play-Doh again. So just roll that one into a log and then do the same thing with your other color. Try and get them about the same length. And then you're just going to twist them together. And this isn't an exact science, so you can just kind of play around. But then you'll just twist them together, and then I kind of just keep twisting and then kind of just roll it together. And the more you do this, so this is kind of chunky at the beginning, if you just keep twisting and playing with it, the streaks will get thinner and it'll look more natural. So just kind of experiment. Okay, now I'm starting to see like the little streaks of white running through the blue, so that's what we want. Okay, I'll roll it up once more. And then you can take a rolling pin. This is specifically for clay. You can buy it at a craft store. You could just use your own rolling pin that you have for baking, or you can even use like a pasta machine to feed your clay through, and that'll get it nice and even. But if you don't have one, this is a inexpensive option. So you want to roll your clay out to be no thicker than 2 millimeters. That's the maximum thickness that the Curio can cut. So I'm trying to get mine to be about 1 to 1.5 millimeters in thickness. Okay, I think we're just about there. You'll know once your arm feels like it's gonna fall off. Just kidding, it's not that bad. Okay, but again, about 1 to 1.5 millimeters. You can go thinner than that or thicker. For the dishes, I like them to be a little bit thicker just so they're sturdy and stable. You can see I've done a few other colors, pink and white and a darker blue and white. So just go over this one more time to make sure it's smooth. Okay, so once your clay is all rolled out and ready to go, we are going to take our Curio platform and we are going to use a number 2 mat, a number 1 mat, and then your cutting mat, which is also a number 1. So it's going to add up to be 4, platform level 4. So I'm going to put those in place. And then before I put on the cutting mat, I'm going to take off the little blue liner protecting the surface to reveal the adhesive, but I don't want to put the clay directly on the adhesive because it'll just get clay all over the mat. So to protect it, I'm just going to add a little piece of parchment paper. I've just cut that to size 6 by 8.5 inches and smooth that on, and that will protect your cutting mat so you won't have to throw it away after you're done. Okay, and now we'll place your piece of clay. Okay, and then you can just place this in the corner of your mat, or basically wherever your design is gonna go, but we'll format that on the software. And then just roll it a little bit onto the parchment paper so that the clay kind of sticks to the paper and it won't bunch up when it's being cut in the machine. Okay, so once you've gone over the clay a little bit with your rolling pin, then we are going to go ahead and insert our platform into the Curio machine. Okay, so I got this seashell design from the Silhouette Design Store and just uploaded it into Silhouette Studio. And I'm going to delete the other designs that I don't need. I'm just going to be working with this seashell. And to make it better for a trinket dish, I'm just going to widen it a little bit. That looks good. I'm going to keep it this same size. It's about 3 inches in diameter. And then position it to where you know your clay is on your mat. So just look at your clay and where you positioned it. And then I'm going to right click on the design and select Release Compound Path, which divides up all of the inner components from the outside edge, which is what we want because we're going to be cutting the outside edge and then embossing the inside designs. So now we'll go to the Send panel and make sure you have your Curio machine plugged in and connected. And then we are going to change our material. There's not a clay setting in here already, so I'm just going to change it to a material that I know is embossable so that the fine embossing tool shows up. And then I'm going to alter the settings to work for clay. So I found that the best settings were to lower the speed to 1 and then change the force to 4 and just do 1 pass. And then we don't want to emboss the outer edge. So for the outer edge, we want our action to be cut. And then for the tool, we're using our deep cut blade. And then we're gonna change the settings to cut at a depth of 15. There we go. 15 and a speed of 3 and a force of 1. And passes just need to be 1 as well. And then I'm gonna select the outside of the shell and click cut. This will change it to a blue color so you know that the outside is being cut with tool 1 and the inside is being embossed, or the outside is being cut with tool 2 and the inside is being embossed with tool 1. Now we'll just press send and watch the magic happen. Okay, once it's done cutting, you can unload your mat and then go ahead and preheat your oven so that it will be hot enough to bake as soon as you've prepped everything else. So we're gonna bake these at 270, 275 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 minutes. And it kind of depends on how big your dishes are, but that's a good rule of thumb, 275 for 40 minutes. So. Okay, and now we can go ahead and peel away the extra clay. And you can see when it embossed, it kind of brought up a few little stray guys. You can kind of just brush those off so it's nice and smooth. Okay, and then to get the little concave shape of the trinket dishes, I baked mine on a donut pan, but you can use any oven-safe bowl or vessel to achieve the slight curve. So we'll just gently peel off the shell, and I want the embossed look to be the exposed side. So we're gonna put that face down on the donut pan. And it's just like the slightest curve. So just push down all your edges so that they will bake with that slight curve. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put this in our preheated oven. So that's gonna bake for about 40 minutes, but just keep an eye on it because it might, depending on how thick your clay is, it might bake faster or slower. And that's all. So I hope you try this and experiment with different shapes and designs. You can see I've done a few here already. These have already been baked, so they're firm and solid. And we did a seashell design. We did a simple monogram. So you can experiment with different shapes and designs and give this project a try. We have the full tutorial on silhouette101.com. And share your projects with us. I want to see what you're making with clay and your curio machine. And we will see you next time.